Late one rainy Tuesday night, when the city lights blurred into long golden streaks on the windshield of passing cars, Maya Alvarez sat on the edge of her narrow bed, staring at her phone like it was a ticking clock. Her one-room apartment smelled faintly of detergent and warm milk, the kind of place where every sound echoed louder than it should. In the crib beside her, her 3-month-old son Leo shifted restlessly, his tiny face scrunching as hunger pulled him out of sleep. Maya's paycheck from the diner had come late, and smaller than expected. The manager had apologized, blaming slow business, but apologies didn't fill bottles. She opened the cupboard again even though she already knew what she would find, one nearly empty container of baby formula, barely enough for a single feeding. Her hands shook as she typed a message meant for her old coworker Jenna, the only person who had ever helped her out without judgment. "Hey, I hate to ask, but could you lend me $50? I just need formula for Leo. I'll pay you back as soon as I can." She hit send without checking the contact name. The message whooshed away, carrying her pride with it. Only when the phone buzzed back did she notice the name at the top of the screen. Unknown contact, Daniel Harrington. Her stomach dropped. Daniel Harrington wasn't a friend. He wasn't a coworker. He was the billionaire CEO of Harrington Technologies, the same man whose office tower she cleaned 3 nights a week through a janitorial agency. Weeks ago, she'd been asked to confirm her number for building access updates. She must have tapped the wrong name. Maya's face burned. She rushed to type an apology, fingers flying. "I'm so sorry. That message wasn't meant for you. Please ignore it." She stared at the screen, mortified, ready to turn the phone face down and pretend the moment never happened. But then another message appeared. "Is your baby okay?" Maya froze. She didn't reply at first. She told herself not to. Powerful people didn't need to hear her problems. Billionaires didn't care about $50. Still, Leo cried again, thin, desperate cries that cut straight through her resolve. She typed slowly. "He's hungry. I just ran out of formula tonight. I shouldn't have texted you. I'm sorry." Minutes passed. Then another message. "What's your address?" Her heart pounded. Suspicion wrestled with exhaustion. She thought about ignoring it, but something in the simplicity of the question felt different. Not pity. Not condescension. Just concern. She sent her address. Across the city, Daniel Harrington sat alone in the glass penthouse that overlooked everything yet felt strangely empty. His phone lay on the marble counter, glowing softly. He had read the message 3 times, then a 4th. $50. An amount he spent without thinking on a single lunch meeting. And yet for someone else, it was the difference between hunger and comfort. He remembered his own childhood, his mother stretching meals, pretending she wasn't hungry so he could eat. Money had found him later in life, but those memories never left. 30 minutes later, a knock echoed down Maya's hallway. She opened the door cautiously. A tall man in a dark coat stood there, holding a small bag from a 24-hour pharmacy. His hair was damp from the rain, his shoes far too expensive for the peeling linoleum beneath them. "Hi," he said gently. "I'm Daniel." Maya's eyes widened. You didn't have to come." "I wanted to," he replied, stepping inside when she nodded. He placed the bag on the counter. Inside were 2 large containers of formula, baby wipes, and a small stuffed elephant. Leo quieted almost instantly after the first feeding, his tiny hands curling around Maya's finger. She looked up to find Daniel watching, something unreadable softening his sharp features. "Thank you," she whispered. "I'll pay you back. Every dollar." Daniel shook his head. "This isn't a loan." Tears filled her eyes. "You don't even know me." "I know enough," he said. "I know you asked for help instead of giving up. And I know you showed up to work last night when you were exhausted. I saw you." She blinked in surprise. I notice the people who keep my buildings running, he continued. They're invisible to most. They shouldn't be. Before leaving, he handed her his card. If you ever need anything, real help, text me. And I mean that. Days passed. Then weeks. Maya expected the moment to fade into a surreal memory, but it didn't. The janitorial agency called her in for a meeting she dreaded, only to tell her she'd been offered a full-time position with benefits at Harrington Technologies. Flexible hours. Childcare assistance. Double her previous pay. At the bottom of the offer letter was a handwritten note. For Leo. And for you. You deserve a fair start. Months later, Maya no longer counted formula scoops with fear. She enrolled in night classes, something she'd always dreamed of but never thought possible. Daniel never hovered, never tried to save her. He simply removed the weight from her shoulders and let her stand on her own. One evening, as Maya tucked Leo into his crib, she looked at her phone and scrolled back to that accidental message, the one she'd almost never sent. A mistake, she realized, had become a turning point. Not because a billionaire gave money, but because he chose to see a struggling mother not as a problem to fix, but as a person worth believing in. And sometimes, belief is worth far more than $50.